What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the GSMC Dead Ball Sports Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. My name is Roberto Ramirez, aka Philly Rob. Welcome to another episode, and don't worry about the Philly part. This is a national show. I want to hear about everything and everything. I want to hear from everyone. So you know what? With that being said, don't forget, like, subscribe, donate, click on that super chat. I want to feature you guys in this show. I want to hear what you guys have to think in the comments. I'm going to go through every single one of those comments. I want to hear everything you guys have to say. You know what I mean? But hey, this show is all about you. We love hearing your thoughts, your questions, and your opinions as we dive in the latest sports action. Whether you got a burning question, a bold prediction, or you want to give a shout out to your favorite player, don't hold back. Let us know. Drop it in the comments. Your voice adds so much to the conversation, and we're here to make sure that that it's heard. But if you really, like I said, if you really want to make sure that your message stands out, here's how we can guarantee you being part of this show right here, showcasing what you guys have to say. You know what I mean? Use that super chat feature. Just click on the $ at the bottom of the chat box, send in your message, and it's a surefire way to get our attention. And I'll be reading and replying to those super chats on the next episode after receiving them. Not only does that help the show, keeps us running, keeps us strong. Your support means everything to us. You know what I mean? It's everything. It's what allows us to keep bringing good content, the content that you love week after week, day after day, 5 times a week. We're building something special here, and we couldn't do it without you. So we're jumping in. Hey, come on. Come in and jump in the conversation. Send in those super chats. Let's make sure that we can make this show better together. We are a team. You already know what it is. And if you'd rather not use the super chat, you can always go to GSMCSportsNetwork to tip, donate, leave your comment, your question. We'll always be grateful for whatever feedback, for whatever donation you can leave us. We can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. And I got a couple subjects that I want to talk about in today's show. I'm going to talk about, give you guys a little preview of week 1 of college football. What's going on? Week 5, I apologize. Week 5 of NCAA college football. We'll continue to talk a little bit more of college football in the next segment. In the second segment, I'll be talking about the Pac-12 and the mess that is the Mountain West. You know what I mean? On the third segment, we're going to be talking about what's going on after all the debacle that's been going on in Oakland with the A's. The last game was played yesterday. We want to talk a little bit about that and what's at stake this weekend. This is the final stretch, the final weekend of MLB regular season play. Some important matchups coming up. I want to talk about them. And want to end the show with this weekend in boxing. Got a little bit of a historic boxing weekend, believe it or not. Women are headlining boxing. And this is great for the sport. So, you know what I mean? Let's get going. Let's get the show started with week 5 of college football. There's a lot of good games in the weekend. You know what I mean? I got a couple upset specials for you guys, but let's start with the game of the season, basically. Number 2, Georgia. At number 4, Alabama. 7:30 p.m. on ABC and ESPN. Since 2021, the Georgia Bulldogs have been 45-2. Both of those losses have been to the hands of Alabama. That is some dominance there, folks. Kirby Smart is coming for the SEC title and for SEC dominance. And for him to get there, he's going to have to beat Alabama at home to shut everybody out, to shut everybody's mouth, to shut it all down, to make sure and remind them that they are the class of not only the SEC, but also the nation. You know what I mean? Of course, the Georgia defense is going to be the difference and the factor for this game. They allowed the fewest and the shortest gains offensively in all of college football. So I expect them to win this game. I have Georgia winning this game 19-14. In fact, you know what? I'll give Alabama a little bit of love. 19-17 Georgia. It's going to be an ugly game in the first half. We'll see some scoring next to adjustments done in the second half. Another college football playoff eliminator. You can say number 15 Louisville at number 16 Notre Dame. 3:30 on Peacock. Riley Leonard. Can he take care of the football? Can he take care of that side of the ball? Become accurate. Take care of the ball. No turnovers. They're going to have to play a really good game. This Louisville team is good. In fact, I have them winning this game. I just don't see any help from touchdown Jesus looking down the stadium. Maurice Turner, the running back, is likely to be out with an injury for Notre Dame. It's not going to be good. Tyler Shoe, probably butchered his last name. I apologize to him and his family. He's 15 in total QBR. You know what I mean? He's averaging 10 yards per pass with 8 touchdowns, no interceptions. That's a sharp quarterback right there, ladies and gentlemen. I think he got a little bit of ice in his veins. He won't be shook by touchdown Jesus looking straight at him when he's trying to get into the end zone. I have Louisville winning this game 27-21. Big win on the road for Louisville. That should put them in the conversation for maybe a spot on the college football playoff. Another interesting game this weekend, Fresno State at UNLV. Undefeated UNLV. You already know the story with him, with the university and Matt Sluka. Matt Sluka getting out of that situation. Apparently, they owe him $97,000. They made him a $100,000 offer. Only have given him, according to him, allegedly, only $3,000. The running back is also not playing, but they do have a couple running back prospects in Greg Burrell and Kylie James. Their quarterback, the replacement quarterback, Hodge Malik Williams, is also a pretty good quarterback, quote unquote. He's more of a runner type of quarterback that might open up the playbook for the coaching staff at UNLV to come over and take care of the situation. I think that UNLV team is still pretty good. They're just not as good without Matt Sluka. I have them winning this game. It's going to be somewhat of a close game. I got 17-14. UNLV winning by a field goal. Washington State at number 25, Boise State, 10 p.m. on FS1. Wazoo, what do they have in the tank? One of the two schools that are still part of the Pac-12, something that don't go anywhere. We'll talk about them in the next segment. What do they have? But these two teams are very good offensively. Defensively, they're terrible, but offensively, they're one of the best two teams in the nation. I'm talking about Wazoo and Boise State. Very explosive offenses. Wazoo quarterback John Mateer and Broncos quarterback Ashton Jonty. I think Boise State is going to win this one. They're going to win 45-38. You know what I mean? It's going to be a shootout over there in the big blue field in Boise, Idaho. Another big game coming this weekend. Virginia Tech against number 7 Miami, 7:30 p.m. on ESPN. I want to see a little bit more of what Miami can do. Can they dominate? They have to win this game by a blowout and send out a message to everyone that Miami is back. That's why I chose this team, this matchup to feature on the show, because people aren't all in on Miami. I hear a lot of hesitation, and I think they need to come in and just step on Virginia Tech's throat and take care of the situation. This is an underwhelming Virginia Tech team. I expected them to be better than what they've been this season. Another team, another marquee matchup this weekend. Kentucky at number 6, Ole Miss. Noon at ABC. I don't see Kentucky winning this game. That's another team that's been somewhat underwhelming. And they're going to be playing at Ole Miss. Number 6 in the nation, Ole Miss. SEC, they're right there with the cream of the crop of the SEC this season. It's going to be a blowout. I say 41-17. The Rebels win this one. And I'm going to give you another upset special. My first one was Georgia winning over there in Alabama. My second one is Minnesota at Michigan. I want to see a little bit of PJ Fleck magic. I missed PJ Fleck. He's the most entertaining coach when he's winning. I want to see this happen, and the bet is made for Minnesota to lay this baby down and put this baby to sleep. Can they make it happen? I believe so. That game is also at noon on Fox. Let me know what you guys think. For this game, I'm going to go 21-17 Minnesota. Winning over there in Ann Arbor. What do you guys think? Leave a comment. Talk to me. We got another segment coming up next. I'm going to take a little bit of a break. We're going to talk about the Pac-12 and the Mountain West and the mess that there is over there. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. This is the GSMC Dead Ball Sports Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. We'll be right back, folks.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown. Get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. Some losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world?
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the next segment. This is segment number 2. This is the GSMC Dead Ball Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. Please don't forget, like, subscribe, tell your peoples about this show, share this show, tell your best friend. We're trying to become the hottest podcast in the nation, and we're going to make it happen with your help. Click like, click subscribe, click on that little bell so you won't ever miss an episode. We got too many good shows in this podcast network. We talking sports, but right now you're tuning in to the GSMC Dead Ball Sports Podcast. Let's talk about the mess that we have, that college football has in the west coast of the country. The Pac-12, you already know, basically dissolved right in front of our eyes. First of all, having such a bad TV deal will do that. You know, it looked like a okay deal at the time. Right now, it's looking like a horrible deal. I want to break down everything that's been going on with the Pac-12, and then we'll get over and talk about the Mountain West. But as of now, only 2 teams are a part currently in 2024 of the Pac-12, those two teams are Oregon State and Washington State. These are the teams that are coming. These are the teams that have agreed to come over to the conference. Utah State, Colorado State, Boise State, Fresno State, San Diego State. Interesting teams right there. These are the teams that, this is the lineup of teams that will be part of the football side of the conference for 2026. I'm going to repeat those teams again. Oregon State, Washington State, Utah State, Colorado State, Boise State, Fresno State, San Diego State. Might be calling it the West Coast State Conference, you know what I mean? With the amount of state schools in there. 4 schools have declined to join the conference. So surprisingly, one team that kind of surprised me that declined, one team that declined is Tulane, which makes sense. It's a southern team. It's a team from New Orleans, Louisiana. Memphis surprised me. I think it make a little bit of sense for Memphis on football and basketball to come join the Pac-12. I don't know why they decided not to. It makes all the sense in the world for South Florida to stay where they are. And another team that kind of surprised me, UTSA, University of Texas San Antonio. They surprised me. Currently they're in the American Athletic Conference. Kind of surprised that they're staying there. I mean, it makes sense either or, but I would have went with the Pac-12 because I think that conference, they could dominate that conference. You know what I mean? That would be a recruiting advantage for them. You know, you're recruiting kids in Texas and you can tell them, we're going to take you, you know what I mean, to parts of the West Coast that you've never been to before. You're going to see parts of the nation that you would never go to visit. And play at hostile places and showcase yourself on national TV. You know what I mean? These teams don't move the needle for me. They really don't. I just don't see very much. This conference is mid at best. I don't see the Pac-12 becoming the power conference they were before. And then on top of that, I just don't see them having a big-time TV deal to lure another big university come play football for the conference. With that being said, some teams that I would love to come through and join the conference right now is 7. They need 8 to be called a legit conference. The time is ticking because they have until 2026 to figure this out. But 2 teams that I would love them to join the conference will be Rice. You know what I mean? That's the Houston market. The Texas market. I think it's important for the Pac-12 to dig their feet in those Texas waters. You want some of those Texas recruits to be in the conference. I think it's very important. I think both parties will benefit. Same thing with North Texas. People have been telling me, maybe Texas State. What about North Texas? And I know they just made the move the American Athletic Conference recently, but I think they can make it work. And that's a team that could become somewhat of a powerful team in that conference in the upcoming years if they join the Pac-12. I believe so. I think it will behoove them to come and join the conference. Also, let's talk about Sacramento State. I don't think it's a good fit. I think Sacramento State might be a better fit with the conference we're going to talk about next, the Mountain West. The Mountain West is going to compete with the Pac-12 for the remaining teams that they need. Right now, it's only 7 of those teams committed for 2026. But if they want to rebuild, they might have to get a team out of the Pac-12's mouth. And the Pac-12 doesn't have the same bite they used to. So, very interesting on how they're going to go out there and recruit. They got $43 million coming its way from the Pac-12 and $68 million in exit fees from the party members of the conference. So that's $111 million that they have to spend, to recruit, to lure teams to the conference. Most likely, some teams that might join the conference. New Mexico State, of course, Sacramento State. I think Sacramento State is a perfect fit for the Mountain West. I think it's perfect. They're out there in the West Coast. State of California, close to the Bay. I don't see why not. On other teams that I can see them joining the conference is Toledo. Northern Illinois makes a lot of sense for the Mountain West. That makes a ton of sense. And Texas State. I would love to see Texas State in the Mountain West. It's also just perfect fit. Just the perfect fit. Ring on the finger on wedding day type of stuff. That will be great if it happens. Let's see what happens. But currently, these are the teams that are on board for 2026. The Air Force, Hawaii, Nevada, San Jose State, UNLV, Wyoming, and New Mexico. Very interesting stuff. I want to hear what you guys have to say. This conference doesn't really move the needle for me. I mean, outside maybe if Northern Illinois joins, that it might get people to talk more about the conference. It might get a little bit of respect. You know what I mean? They had a huge upset. You know what I mean? And beating Notre Dame over there in Notre Dame. So, that's some love right there. That's some, a little bit of spice on that soup. You know what I mean? You don't want a soup that's bland. You want some flavor in there. What better way to add Northern Illinois to that conference? It makes sense, all the sense in the world, for them to make this happen. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Leave a comment. I want to hear what you guys have to say. What do you guys think? What is going to happen? Another conference that is going to be in a mess in the next couple of years is the American Athletic Conference. Currently, you got Wichita State, Tulsa, you have Tulane, you have University of Texas, San Antonio, you have Temple, South Florida, Rice, North Texas, Navy, Memphis, Florida International, Eastern Carolina, Charlotte, Army, and South Alabama. Very interesting. Who's going to stay? Let me know in the comments who's staying, who's moving, who's shuffling, who will join the Pac-12 next. This is a mess, and it might take a lot of money and some time for these conferences to figure it out and to stay alive. This is survival first and then figure it out later. Let's see what happens. On our next segment, I'm going to be talking about what happened in the history, a little bit of history of the Oakland A's. Yesterday, it was the last game at the Coliseum. I want to hear what you guys have to say about that, too. We'll be right back. This is the GSMC Dead Ball Sports Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. Don't go anywhere.
Looking for your daily fix of sports talk without having to pay for it? GSMC Sports Network is available on YouTube. Just search GSMC Sports Network. Get your fix of daily sports talk shows on YouTube, absolutely free. NFL, college football, NBA, MLB, MMA, UFC, fantasy football, and so much more. GSMC Sports Network has shows running all day long, with new sports shows starting every 2 hours. Just like on your favorite cable sports channel, except GSMC Sports Network is absolutely free. Just search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube to catch one of your new favorite shows, like the GSMC College Football Podcast, Chip Shot Football Podcast, Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, GSMC Basketball Podcast, and so many more. Check it out for yourself. GSMC Sports Network, now available on YouTube absolutely free. Search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube right now.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show. This is the third segment of the GSMC Dead Ball Sports Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. A lot of dead ball, a lot of podcasts in there. Help me out, baby. You already know, but you know what's the best way to help me out? To help us out, to keep this show and this party going? Ladies and gentlemen, click like, subscribe, donate. click on that super chat. I want to hear what you guys have to say. I want to feature somebody in this show. I know that we're getting started. I know that everybody's out and about. I know that this is the time of the year where sports is king. The fall. Let me know what you guys think. I want to leave a comment, like, subscribe, click on the bell sign so you won't ever miss an episode. We got tons of podcasts. We got so much content for you. Everything you need: boxing, baseball, football, you name it. Hockey and basketball around the corner. We're gonna talk about them too. You want me to get on those subjects? Leave a comment. I want to give people what they want. You know what I mean? And coming back. There you go. Coming back to the subject. Yesterday was the last game at the Oakland Coliseum. We all know that the place is a dump. It's a hard place to go as a fan because of the low amenities and the little care they have put to the park. I mean, this is a very old park. This is a park that was built in the 60s. It's kind of sad. There was nothing. Usually when a team leaves, it's very painful. But this time there was so much history. You know what I mean? This is a franchise that started in Philadelphia. And me, being from Philly, we have love and respect for the franchise. A lot of people in Philly are angry. I can't imagine the level of, I wouldn't call it hate, but disappointment, anger from the fans right now. If this would be happening in Philadelphia, there'll be riots in the streets. In Philadelphia, that wouldn't happen. Trust me, the fans will make sure it wouldn't happen. But with that being said, I think the A's ownership owed it to the fans to do better than what they've been the last 5 years. 5, 8, 7 years. They put it on a really bad team for that proud franchise to consume. Let alone a really bad excuse of a ballpark to go and enjoy the team they love so much. That place is such a dump. Yesterday they beat the Texas Rangers 3-2. I saw the game. I saw the grounds crew grabbing a little bit of that infield dirt and putting it in a plastic bottle. It almost brought tears to my eyes. Because I put myself in their shoes. As a baseball fan myself, baseball will forever be my favorite sport. I don't care what, people say about football. I love football. I play the sport. The one sport that it kills me to this day that I wasn't very good at was baseball. It's the sport that I grew up watching. I remember that, the Midsummer Classic, the All-Star Game, was must-see TV. Now no one really even cares. And I want to put the blame on this on the commissioner and the owners. Especially the owners, because the owners are the ones who voted for this to happen. It should have never happened. Fisher is a piece of, I don't want to name, but excrement is the closest thing to what I want to describe him as. The Howard Terminal situation could have been easily resolved. I don't see why any sponsorships would have came in and saved the day. They were only about $20 million apart. In fact, I believe if I was president, I will make it illegal federally for any tax money to go to any of these stadiums. I'm sorry, my man, you are a billionaire. I understand how business works. I understand that. Very well aware of how business works. You never put your own money to work. You know what? Go to a bank. How about that? Go to a bank. Get a loan. How about that? Name it the West Coast, whatever the hell company stadium. Get a team of marketers to do their job. Get sponsorships. There's ways to raise money. I bet you right now there's over 10 billionaires right now licking their chops, trying to convince Fisher, hey man, just sell me the team. In fact, if I'm Fisher, I will sell this team and make a deal with MLB to get the next franchise to come to Las Vegas. He's going to make a lot of money. He can probably sell the team for 1.7 billion, maybe 2. With that money, he could probably pay half, get his own franchise in Vegas, and leave Oakland alone. Why are you putting this team in a AAA stadium to play in fake grass over there in Sacramento? If the Players Association had a spine, I will fight tooth and claw to make sure you can get at least a better venue than that one. The place is not up to MLB standards, and they're going to work their butts off the whole offseason to make it as MLB friendly as possible. And MLB is going to bend over to make sure this happens. Too many deals that broke down. We understand that Oakland politics are not the best. In fact, in California, when it comes to politics, is not the best. I'm not going to get into the politics of it. But we all know that Oakland, especially on that side of the bay, the mayor, a lot of politicians in there, they're not the best. They have a mess financially. They can't afford to give them money. And they shouldn't. Fisher is a billionaire. If you don't like what you see, my man, you don't have to go that far. I'm sure there's places in California that will tell you, hey man, come over. We're only 20 minutes away from Oakland. Put the stadium here. Build a new highway. Easy in and out. This former proud Philadelphia franchise, who later became the Kansas City Athletics and now Oakland and soon to be Sacramento franchise. Fisher, at least give him the name back. Give him the name back. Don't take the history. Take the money. Take the team. Don't take the history. Do not take the name. Do not take the city's last little piece of identity. The Warriors have left. That was a huge scar in the city. Oracle Arena is literally just making money off concerts. That's why they haven't blown up the spot yet. The Coliseum will be blown up. I'm glad because Mount Davis is an eyesore. I've been to that area. It's not the best, but man, the Warriors and how entertaining they were for years, and they still are. Moved over to San Francisco. At least you can take the BART to a game over there in Oakland, crossing over to San Francisco. And now the Raiders also left in 2019. It's kind of like they lost their soul a little bit. I don't know if you guys have watched Raiders games. It's not the same. It's nothing without the black hole. And now Oakland. And by Oakland, I mean the Athletics. What do you guys think? I want to hear what you guys have to say in the comments. This kills me as a fan because I put myself in their shoes. In Philadelphia, this would never happen because there'll be riots in the streets. Philadelphia is a different animal. California, shout out to them because I will be so angry. I will be so angry. And my respect to their fan base. Seriously. I got nothing but respect. They've been a class act to follow in baseball. Those fans over there in Oakland. Let me know what you guys have to say. Leave a comment. Click on that super chat button. On the next segment, I'm going to talk a little bit about what's going on in the final stretch, the final weekend of MLB. So we'll keep it going with baseball. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
For the best and latest podcasts available anywhere, go to the podcast app on your cell phone and type in GSMC to access free content-rich podcasts on health and wellness, book reviews, sports, entertainment, relationships, social media, movies, technology, finance, and even weird news. Subscribe and download the GSMC Podcast Network's family of shows, available everywhere podcasts are found.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show. And on this segment, I want to talk a little bit of MLB final weekend stretch. A lot of action in the National League. A lot of things going on. A lot of moving pieces. Also, before we get into that, don't forget, donate, like, subscribe. Show some love to the show, baby. We out here. Your donations is going to keep us going, and it's going to keep the show strong. So show some love. Click on that super chat. Let me feature your comment on this show. Go to GSMCSports.net. Donate, like, subscribe. All of our shows are there. We're on YouTube. Wherever you get your podcasts, don't forget to follow us on social media. Instagram, X, formerly known as Twitter. Facebook. We everywhere, baby. Give us a follow. But with that being said, we're back to the MLB final stretch of the regular season. And this weekend, Mets at Braves. Very interesting series coming up here in the National League. The Braves are only 1.5 games from a wild card spot. And they've been playing lights out. Marcell Ozuna has been a beast at the plate. I know they've been decimated by injuries on with their pitching. They lost the superstar, Ronald Acuna Jr., who's a superstar. Say what you want. I wish MLB would do a little bit more to get him out there. The guy is a stud and one hell of a player on the plate, on the bases, and on the diamond on the defense. He's amazing. Total, all-around amazing player. The Mets rotation for this weekend is Luis Severino, David Peterson, and Sean Manaea. I believe that should be enough for them to shut down this Braves team, resurging Braves team, for the weekend. Because this weekend the Braves have in the pitching staff Spence Schellenbach, Chris Sale, who's literally a Cy Young favorite. Yeah, I don't see why he cannot win the Cy Young. He's been lights out from the mound this season. And Max Fried. And it makes sense for the New York Mets to win 2 out of 3 here and just put the Braves to bed, put them out of their misery, and put them out. But these are the Mets. Let's not forget. You know, the Mets are going to Mets, LOL Mets, LOL Mets. I laugh at the Mets, whatever. But with that being said, I think they have the talent. Francisco Lindor at the plate has been amazing. He's an MVP candidate for the National League, and he should show up. They're finally the team that everybody was talking about in the preseason. They're playing like it. They're red hot. I wouldn't say lately down the stretch, they haven't played very well. They allowed the Braves to come in and get a little bit closer, give them a little step on their heels. But 2 years ago, let's not forget, 2 years ago, the Red Hot Braves finished the season by sweeping the New York Mets, costing the Mets the division. The Braves are good this time of the year. And history shows us why. Let's see what happens. Another marquee matchup this weekend. Padres at Dodgers with the division at stake. San Diego has been red hot. Believe it or not, if San Diego sweeps this series, which I don't see why they wouldn't, they've been red hot, probably one of the best teams in baseball since the All-Star break. I mean, if they sweep the Dodgers that have no pitching, most of their pitchers are donezo. Even future Hall of Famer, hurts me to say it, Shohei Ohtani, MVP candidate, been amazing at the plate, out of this world. The guy's hitting everything. His slugging percentage is insane. Let me see. I just want to mention his slugging percentage. I have it right here. Give me 1 second. His slugging percentage is out of this world. And I know I mentioned it in the last episode. I want to mention it again. Here it is. There you go. Shohei Ohtani. Slugging percentage. 642. .642. That's insane. That's one of the highest in baseball. Wherever he swings, he's going to make contact. That's insane. But there's only one Shohei Ohtani on that lineup. The Padres, this is their pitching staff for this weekend. Michael King, Dylan Cease, and Joe Musgrove. Some proven guys. Guys have won playoff games. They're ready. They're going to come in swinging. Like I said, a San Diego sweep might be all it takes to take the division away this weekend. That's wild. Another interesting series is Kansas City. Hold up, give me 1 second here. Kansas City currently is playing the Atlanta Braves tonight. Very interesting. Very interesting. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Let me know what you think. Who do you think is coming out of the National League? I hope it's the Phillies. It might be the Dodgers. It could be San Diego. I think out of the American League, there's way too much talent in Baltimore. I know they've been struggling so much to make it to the playoffs. They haven't had a very good September, but they will figure it out. That team is way too talented. And I know the Achilles heel of the Orioles is that bullpen, especially the back of the bullpen. They had a lot of trouble with Kimbrel. They had to DFA him. He was that bad. Sir Anthony Dominguez has been so-so. Coming over from the Philadelphia Phillies. That was a no-win trade. Trading Hayes for Kimbrel and Sir Anthony Dominguez. Man, if they can figure out the bullpen situation, I don't see why they can't even win the World Series. That's a hell of a team. That is a really good squad. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. What's going to happen in MLB in this final stretch of the weekend. In our next segment, I'm going to be surprising you guys because this weekend there is a lot of boxing with women headlining the show. Yes, you heard right. Women are headlining boxing shows, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. This is the GSMC Dead Ball Sports Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. Don't go anywhere. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the GSMC Dead Ball Sports Podcast. We're going to talk a little bit about boxing. Before we do that, please don't forget, like, subscribe, share, show your love. Click on that super chat, baby. Let me feature you on this show. I want to hear what you guys have to say. I want to hear more from you guys. I want to take some love. I want to hear from it. I want everything. Hit me with it, baby. You already know. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, click on that bell sign so you get a notification every time we put up a show. There's a lot more people than just me in this GSMC Podcast Network. We got everything you need from sports, books, anything you can imagine. We got a podcast for it. But hey, we talking sports here. You already know. And let's get back to the final segment of the show. Like I said, my name is Roberto Ramirez, Philly Bob. You already know, doing the damn thing. Let's talk about this weekend in boxing. This is quite a historic boxing weekend, and let me tell you why. There's a lot of females headlining boxing. Let's go over what's, on this weekend. This weekend, tonight, Friday, September 27th, from MSG, New York City, Sandy Ryan, the British boxer, at 7-1-1 with 3 knockouts, is fighting Mikaela Mayer at 19-2 with 5 knockouts for the WBO welterweight title. That's an interesting world title fight on the women's side. That'll be very interesting fight to watch. I think it's going to be somewhat of a snooze fest. Mikaela Mayer is the better boxer, but she's not known for knocking girls out in the ring. I don't see her doing very much of anything till after the 3rd round. And she will show her class, but she's low-key pillow hands every time she's in the center of the ring. And I know that because I used to work doing Top Rank Boxing. Shout out to her. Shout out to Mikaela, man. She's an amazing boxer. But she low-key has pillow hands. She can't knock people out. You're telling me that in 21 fights, you only knock out 5 people and you're what? She's like 5'9", 5'10". You're towering over people. You're punching down every time you box. You're punching down every single time you jab. That's an advantage in the sport of boxing. And I don't think she takes enough advantage of that situation. Also, in that undercard, undefeated, 19-0, 12 KOs, Xander Zayas. This is a big test. Damian Sosa. He's fighting Damian Sosa at 25-2 and 12 knockouts. Very interesting fight. I do have Xander winning this fight. It's going to be a shutout. I don't see a knockout. Damian he has the jaw of a horse. It's tough to knock him out. It's going to be interesting. What is his corner going to have him do this time differently? Because he has to stay away from the right hand. How is he going to do that? Is he going to stay in the middle of the ring? You know what I mean? Is he going to be able to avoid body shots? I believe so. I think this kid can do it all in the ring. He's an amazing boxer. Not just a fighter, not just a brawler. He's a really good boxer. He understands the sweet science, and he understands space. When you can understand space, you will use your jab to your advantage in the middle of the ring, and it's gonna be target practice for him. It's just we're not gonna see damage to Damian Sosa. Damian Sosa is hard as a rock. It's like basically hitting a wall. In another fight, the outspoken, another female fighter, Alicia Baumgartner. 15-1, 7 knockouts. Always talking crap. I love it. Against Delphine Pearson, the Belgium, out of Belgium. 49-3 with 19 KOs. She's a veteran. She's been in the ring quite a few times. Alicia Baumgartner is the class of the junior lightweight division. This fight is for the WBC junior lightweight title and the lineal rights of the junior lightweight title. It's going to be on Brinks TV, thanks to Football Sports. Of course, you know, the disappearance of the death of Showtime Boxing is putting boxing in places that we would have never thought we'll see. You know what I mean? But I guess this fight is on Brinks.tv or Football Sports, either or, tomorrow, Saturday the 28th, live from Atlanta, Georgia at 6 p.m. I see Alicia Baumgartner win this fight by knockout. It's going to be a late knockout. I'll say in the middle of the 7th round, she'll work her magic, and after smacking the body around for quite a few rounds, the arms are going to drop, and it's going to be target practice on that chin of Pearson. Going to be an interesting fight. How fast does Alicia Baumgartner is going to finish her off? I don't see a unanimous decision. I don't even think Delphine has the body to take on the punishment that Alicia can bring. Alicia is a very smart fighter, and she has a great corner to back that talk up. In another female headliner, 3 headliners, 3 female headliners. This is history, and this is great for the sport. September 20th, tomorrow, British champ Ryan Dixon versus Terry Harper. Ryan Dixon 10-0 with only 1 KO, and Terry Harper 14-2 with 6 KOs. It's going to be broadcasted on The Zone from Sheffield, England tomorrow, 2 p.m. Dixon is going to win. She's going to outwork her all over the ring. It's going to be target practice for her. She's very accurate with her jab. She has a really good overhand right. And I think it's going to be the key to the boxing match tomorrow over there in England. It's going to be interesting what Terry can do to counter. Because I think that's the only way Terry has a chance in this fight. If she can counter punch and keep her eyes open and her arms up, she does have she will have a chance in this fight, because Rhiannon doesn't have the amount of boxing experience in that resume. If she can hurt her, that would be new grounds for Rhiannon Dixon to step on to. And a lot of fighters that haven't been smacked struggle when they get hit in the face. Hard. So that overhand right might be a killer. Can she counter? Can she move her feet enough to set up the right hand off the jab? How good of a camp did she have? How focused is she? A lot of questions, you know what I mean, concerning this weekend. But let's get back to the women finally taking over the sport of boxing. We had that happen in the UFC, and now it's slowly happening in boxing. I think it's the first time ever on a weekend 3 women are headlining boxing shows. Women's boxing pays. People want to see women in sports. Let's make sure that what we're bringing is quality. And I believe these 3 matches, these 3 fights, total quality for the weekend. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Do you like the way that boxing is trending on the women's side? You have 3 women headlining for the first time ever. I just couldn't find anything online. For the first time ever, headlining boxing. Quite interesting. I find it very interesting to see history in the making. It's so sad that ESPN is not talking about it. No one on talk radio is talking about it. 3 knockdown rule is not talking about it. No one is talking about this. Let's see what happens. That's why I wanted to bring it up. Ladies and gentlemen, you have made it to the very last part of the show. I greatly appreciate you guys. Don't forget, like, subscribe. Show your love. You know what? Follow us on social media, baby. We everywhere. Did you know that we were on TikTok? We're on Twitch. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We are on X, formerly known as Twitter. Give us a follow. Show some love. We're here for you. We want to hear what you guys have to say. Don't forget, click on that little money sign on that. Yeah, bah! I want to feature your comments on the next show. Till then, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Roberto Ramirez, and you just watch another episode of the Dead Ball GSMC Dead Ball Sports Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. We will be back on Monday. Don't go anywhere. Stick around. There's more podcasts in this network. Listen to the other shows. We got a lot to bring for you. And with that being said, I'll see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend, folks. I'll see you guys.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to